Marshall, how do I make a work attempt to create an I?
You know, when I first came into Mr. Nyland's group, one of the first things I heard in this beginners group is how first of all, to understand the condition I'm in, but to really understand the condition I am, I have to create something that is objective. So how do I do that? How do I, and what we assign the concept of objectivity to this quality of an I, of what an I, representing the most, maybe the most essential potential within myself, something that can grow and be developed from within myself, that can actually begin to give me the truth of what I am. Now, usually, I mean, most of us on earth usually think that we can get the truth of ourselves through our ordinary feelings and our ordinary mind. And there's all kinds of self-help groups on the earth that can help you do that. And ordinary psychological or psychoanalytical processes, which are useful and helpful to people. But this process of the creation of an I is spiritual work. We begin to actually begin to understand how to do this, and what did Mr. Nyland say that to do how do I do this? I mean, you can hear me going around the tree a little bit because it's not so easy, and so to put it into the ears of people who haven't heard this before. So really simply is I take my body as it is. My body contains my whole personality. I wish to know what I am. So if my ordinary mind and my ordinary feelings I've finally discovered will not give me the truth of what I am, it's basically very circular and they're self-feeding on themselves, I don't get anywhere with them. So in a certain sense, back again to the question, how do I become free of this personality? How do I become free of this subjectivity, this bondage? Well, in a way, I began to create something that's quite opposite of that. Something that is not ordinary mind, something that is not ordinary feelings, something that is not my body. But actually, and in truth, I use all three of them, my body, my feelings, and my mind, in a different way to begin to make an effort to create this I. So what is that? What is the effort? I have a body. I'm not this body. I wish to have something see me as I am without description, without judgment, without a need to change it. I wish to have something come into my life that will give me give me the information of an objective kind of what I am. So I work to create the conditions to allow this process of what we call the creation of an I, which means that as I walk, as I live my life, as I manifest through my body, I wish to have something, you could say, parallel to that, something that begins to receive information about that. And I don't have that. So in a way, for a long time, it's as if I have this quality that something can see me as I am, something can receive information of a certain kind about the truth of what I am without question. So what does that mean? I have a body. My body becomes the object of observation. So this is the word, observation. Something observes what I am. But the truth of the matter is that it observes the first process is that I am. This quality of an I gives me the information that I am. So when I work, when I walk, when I move, when I gesture, when I talk, when I manifest, and what Mr. Nyland has used, and many others have used this, is something called the 5 manifestations of my physical body, which means that I use the aspects of my physical body as a object for observation, for awareness. In a way, in a certain sense, this observation process could be called an awareness of the fact that I exist. But I don't have that normally. I don't have that at all. I have nothing in me that will give me the truthful information of what I am. So I have to begin feeding this potential within myself, moments of impressions of myself in different kinds of circumstances. So in a way, we move away from the psychological aspect of it into a kind of an understanding of what transformation is, to transform what I am as an unconscious human being into a more conscious and emotionally developed human being, so that the truth of what I am is the source of that. So in a way, Gurdjieff says we need 3 kinds of food. One is the food for our physical body, one is the food for our emotional body, which is certain elements in air, and also what Gurdjieff calls conscious impressions. third being food. So in a way, when I work to wake up, to be present, to have an process of observation, I'm actually receiving impressions from outside. I'm constantly receiving impressions from the outside world, but under the light of consciousness, under the light of an effort to observe, under the light of awareness, that the impressions I received are beginning to be transformed into a different kind of substance. And this substance is the beginning of developing a certain understanding, a truthful, you discover truth, and that's an interesting process, to understand truth. And this quality of an I, when I open myself up in certain ways, which we teach, begins to develop in that direction. To this quality of an I is the beginning of giving me the understanding of how to develop my emotional life, my emotional body, and my soul. Out of the creation of I, ultimately, is the development of soul, but it has to be based on the truth of what I am. So the idea of objective faculty takes on a different kind of meaning, because it's giving me the truth that will become the building blocks for my soul to be free from this earth.